Okay, so we've looked at some simple text animation, but what about image animation? Images are often animated in JavaScript to create, for example, rollover buttons. Buttons that have different images and they change when the mouse cursor passes over the button. Well, here's a simple example of how to switch images in JavaScript. It's in the happyface.html sample program. You'll find the page beneath the animation folder, and there are a number of different pages here with sample code in. So load up happyface.html, and that switches two images, and these images are located in the subdirectory happyface, and the images are this one, happyface_f01.jpg, and this one, happyface_f02.jpg. The way that the images have been named is due to the fact that I created them using Fireworks, and it just automatically named them for me. But I can make use of the naming in my source code. Let's go back to the source code. So when this page loads into the web browser, the onload event triggers, and the HTML body tag responds to that by calling the JavaScript function animate. The script area of the page defines two variables, image1 and image2, and these are assigned paths to the two images used in the animation. Now only one image is displayed at a time, and the name of that image is assigned to the current image variable. And the animate function simply finds which of the two images is currently being displayed and then swaps it for the other image. And the code uses once again the setTimeout method with a delay value, which is here 300 milliseconds, so that there's a pause between each image swap. So it's a pretty simple bit of code, and the end result is, let's load the page to see it in action. Here it is. So it just switches from one image to the next. That's not in its present form particularly useful. You probably wouldn't want that flashing at you all the time in a web page, but it lays the foundation for more useful types of image swapping, which we'll look at shortly. But what if you've got more than just two images that you want to swap? Well, I've got an example here in weirdface.html, where in this case I've got my images in the weirdface folder here, and you can see there are a whole load of them. If I load them up one by one, you can see that the face gradually changes as the eyes move around and the mouth changes. So I've got a whole batch of graphics here, and if I want to animate those, let's see how I do it. Right, so this time I iterate over an array of images. Here I've declared a 10-slot array called myImages, and I've loaded into each slot a different graphic. Each graphic represents a frame and has _f0 plus an integer appended to the name happyface. So animating the images is done by iterating over that array, and I assign the image at the current index, that's current frame, in the array to the src attribute of the HTML img tag with the ID face image. So let's have a look. You can see that's just down here. So the function animate does the animation, and the end result is, let's load up the page. There's my 10-frame animation. And before moving on from this simple type of looping animation that swaps images in and out, take a look at helloanim.html, which animates some images of the word hello with a delay of 100 milliseconds between each image. So the techniques used are similar to in the previous example, and it loads up the images from a subfolder, hello images, into an array and just iterates over them, swapping the images in and out. And let's have a quick look at that. So that's the end result. It's pretty simple stuff. Now let's look at an alternative version. hello anim2.html. Very similar on the whole, but there is a difference. With hello anim2, I animate the same set of images, but this time the time varies when the delay changes. So the animation appears to speed up and slow down in regular cycles. Let's have a quick look at that so you can see it for yourself. So here it starts animating, slowing down, speeding up, slowing down, and so on, and it'll continue in that way. And the secret to this effect is the function change speed, and that switches between increasing and decreasing the delay of each image, or the gap between the display of each image, according to whether or not the variable speed up is true. That becomes true when the delay is greater than or equal to 200 milliseconds, and false when it's less than or equal to 3 milliseconds. When speed up is true, the delay is decreased by 3 milliseconds after each frame. When it's false, the delay is increased by 3 milliseconds. So by doing a little change in this code, I've been able to affect the display quite simply of the animation. Now, enough of these simple image swapping. Let's look at something that's a bit more useful, and in the next lesson I'll be looking at how to create rollover buttons and menus.